Hello everyone, I'm the narrator. Today, I bring you a rescue animal story about the helpless souls who have endured pain and loneliness yet still long for love. A small act of kindness can change their world. If this story touches your heart, please like, share, comment and subscribe to Rescue Animal Tales to spread love and hope. Now, let's step into this story together. Cruelty exposed. Two puppies abandoned and near death. Watch the rescue team's incredible rescue. Imagine this: a cold, lonely road and two tiny souls, shivering, clinging to life, their bodies, frail, broken, and covered in dirt, whispered a heartbreaking story. They had been left behind. Forgotten, their eyes, innocent, terrified, silently pleaded, "Please, don't leave us here." In a world full of noise, the cries of the voiceless are often unheard. But today, you will witness a miracle, a rescue fueled by compassion. A fight for survival, and a journey of hope. This is not just a story, it's a call to your heart. Two little lives hanging by a thread, and one rescue team racing against time. Will they make it in time? Will these helpless souls find their second chance at life? Get ready for a story that will break your heart, and heal it, because sometimes, love is the greatest rescue of all. The heartbreaking reality of two abandoned puppies. The sun was merciless that day, casting a golden glow on an empty roadside, a place that should have been forgotten. But there, barely visible in the dust and fallen leaves, were two fragile souls clinging desperately to life. Their tiny bodies, trembling and covered in dirt, told a silent, painful story. They had been abandoned, left to die alone. The smaller one, barely breathing, lay curled against its sibling, as if hoping for warmth from the only family it had left. Its ribs, sharp and visible, rose and fell with shallow breaths. The other pup, though weak, lifted its weary eyes, meeting the world with a mixture of fear and pleading. "Will someone come? Does anyone care?" A soft whimper broke the heavy silence, a sound so small, yet it carried a world of suffering. Flies buzzed around their frail bodies, and the heat scorched their cracked paws. The scent of dried blood and neglect clung to their matted fur. It was a scene no heart could witness without breaking. Yet, amidst this agony, there was something powerful: hope. The faint wag of a tail, the blink of tired eyes, a silent prayer that a kind hand would reach out and save them. But time was running out. Their breaths grew weaker, their bodies colder. If no one came soon, their story would end here, unheard. Unseen. The rescue mission begins. The distress call came in, a report of two abandoned puppies on the brink of death. Without hesitation, the rescue team jumped into action. Sirens wailed through the air as the van sped down dusty roads. Racing against time, in their hearts, they knew every second counted. As they approached, the rescuers were met with a heart-wrenching sight: two tiny bodies, barely moving, no barking, no struggle, just the faint rise and fall of their fragile chests. "Hang in there, little ones," a rescuer whispered, their voice trembling. With practiced care, they assessed the puppies, checking their pulses, their temperature. One pup's breathing was dangerously slow. The other barely had the strength to lift its head. Their small bodies were burning with fever, and dehydration had turned their gums pale. The rescuers moved swiftly but gently. Soft, gloved hands lifted the puppies into a warm blanket, carefully, as if holding something more precious than gold. The team's medic quickly administered fluids through tiny syringes. "Come on, sweetheart, stay with me," they murmured. The weaker pup flinched, barely, but it was a sign of life. A flicker of hope. They placed the puppies in a soft carrier, rushing them to the van. The engine roared back to life. As the doors slammed shut, a rescuer turned back to the lifeless road and whispered, "You're safe now. You're not alone anymore." The journey to the clinic was a race against fate. Inside the van, the rhythmic beeping of the medical monitor blended with the rescuer's soft voice, whispering over and over, "Hold on, little fighters, just hold on." The journey to healing. The rescue van screeched to a halt in front of the clinic. The doors flew open, and the rescuers rushed inside, their voices urgent but steady. Two critical puppies, malnourished, dehydrated, high fever, immediate care needed. Veterinarians and technicians sprang into action. Soft hands, quick movements. A battle for life began. The puppies were placed on heated pads to raise their dangerously low body temperatures. Tiny IV lines were inserted into their frail legs, delivering fluids drop by drop, a lifeline in liquid form. One pup, the weaker of the two, barely responded. His tiny chest rose and fell so faintly that every breath felt like a miracle. The stronger pup let out a weak whimper as the vet gently cleaned their matted fur, removing the grime of abandonment. "You're safe now, little one," she whispered, her voice breaking with emotion. As the hours crawled by, the fight continued. Nutrients, antibiotics, and pain relief were carefully administered. A nurse stayed beside them, her hand resting lightly on their fragile bodies, offering warmth, offering comfort, offering hope. Then, in the stillness, something miraculous happened. The weaker pup moved, just a twitch of his paw. But it was enough. A spark of life had returned. The nurse gasped, eyes shining. "Good boy, you're fighting. Keep fighting." The first night, a battle for survival. Night fell, and the clinic's lights cast a soft glow over the small recovery room. The two pups lay side by side, wrapped in warm blankets, their chests rising and falling with every fragile breath. A tiny heartbeat monitor beeped steadily, a reassuring rhythm, a lullaby of life. The weaker pup, now named Hope, fought the hardest battle. His breaths were shallow, his body exhausted, but he was not alone. Rescuers stayed through the night, taking shifts to monitor every breath, every heartbeat. One rescuer sat close, whispering softly, "You're stronger than you know. Little one, you've made it this far. Don't stop now." The stronger pup, named Brave, seemed to understand. His tiny body shifted closer, resting his paw protectively over his brother. A bond of love, brothers in suffering, warriors in survival. A new dawn, the first signs of life. The next morning brought the first rays of hope. Brave lifted his head, his eyes clearer, stronger. And then, a miracle. Hope, after a night of struggle, opened his eyes for the first time. The room fell silent as the little pup blinked weakly, his gaze meeting the tearful eyes of the rescuers. The nurse, voice shaking, whispered, "Welcome back, little warrior." Hope, with the last of his strength, wagged his tiny tail. The room erupted into soft cheers, because sometimes, the smallest victories are the greatest miracles. From pain to joy, the days of recovery, tiny steps, big hopes. The days that followed were filled with both hope and hardship. Each sunrise brought new challenges, but also new progress. Hope, still fragile, needed assistance to eat. Every few hours, a rescuer gently fed him with a small syringe, warm milk mixed with nutrients. His little body trembled with effort, but he never stopped trying. Each sip was a tiny victory, each swallow a step back from the brink. Beside him, Brave showed his protective spirit. Though he was stronger, he never left Hope's side. At feeding times, he would nudge his brother softly, as if to say, "You can do it, I'm with you." Slowly, Hope's strength returned. His eyes became brighter, his ears perked up to every sound. And then came the day they had all waited for. Hope took his first steps. Wobbly, uncertain, but undeniably brave, the rescuers erupted in joy. "Good boy, Hope, you did it." The first play and laughter. With strength came joy. Soon, Hope and Brave began exploring their little world. They chased each other's tails, tumbled over soft blankets, and barked in delight. The clinic, once filled with worry, now echoed with tiny paws and playful yips. Hope, once so weak, became the most mischievous, stealing toys and tugging on Brave's ears. Brave, the gentle protector, would respond with patient growls and playful pounces. The rescuers watched, their hearts full. From abandoned souls on the edge of death to two joyful puppies, this was the miracle they lived for. A forever home, two hearts, one family. Then came the day every rescuer dreams of. A loving family stepped forward to adopt both Hope and Brave together. The day of farewell arrived. The rescuers, though overjoyed, felt their hearts ache. They knelt down, hugging the pups one last time. "Be good, little ones. You are forever loved." Hope, as if understanding, licked the tears from the rescuer's cheek. Brave wagged his tail, promising to protect his little brother forever. The door closed softly, and through the window, the rescuers watched the car drive away, carrying two lives they had saved. Two hearts they would always carry with them. A message to you, the one who cares. This is not just the story of hope and brave. It's the story of every animal waiting for a second chance. And it's a reminder, we can be their hope. We can be their miracle. No act of kindness is ever too small. Every share, every donation, every rescue, changes a life forever. So, will you be their voice? Will you be their hope? Because together, we can create more stories like this. If this story has touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, comment, and *subscribe to Rescue Animal Tales. Every soul deserves love. Let us know in the comments how this story resonates with you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe for more rescue stories, incredible transformations, and the enduring power of connection. Together, let's spread kindness.